Hey, family, this is part two of the psychology and pathology behind why white males have in the past and even some present day hate black men. All right, so let's jump into it. First, let's talk about what the definition of pathology means. It is the study of suffering and or disease. So the need for control is a key pathology in white male racism. The obsession with maintaining dominance over black men reveals deep psychological insecurity. So let's talk about white supremacy as a psychological crutch. White identity in America was constructed around superiority, a false self esteem booster that justified power. Anytime that let's trace history when it came with the Native Americans, thinking that they were better, superiority over. Thinking about the Chinese, how they mistreated them. Thinking about, of course, the enslaved African, and that goes without saying. But white identity, unfortunately, in America has always been constructed around superiority, this centristic belief that they, for whatever reason, are better. Without white supremacy, many white men would have to confront feelings of inadequacy, making racism a defense mechanism against self doubt. I mean, think about it. Anytime you've even been on your jobs, ladies and gentlemen, let's say you're a female and you have a female boss and she may be feel threatened by you because you may have more education or you may, I don't know, more articulate, you may even dress more appropriately or dress better, you may even be more attractive, and that boss, even though she is your boss, she's feeling insecure, and though she does whatever she can to keep her foot on your neck and keep you down and prevent you from raising up in the ranks, and she'll lie on you. She'll tell you you're less. Well, isn't that symbolic to what the white man has, many white men have done? And again, when I use the word white man, do not assume I'm saying every white person, okay? Let's just get that straight. But it is a defense mechanism against self-doubt because if you're securing yourself, you want to see your people shine. You want to see others around you raise up and shine. Second part is slavery's psychological legacy. The master slave dynamic ingrained a pathology where white men saw black men as property. It's a dehumanization that still affects policing and employment in many other areas. You got to remember, pathology passes down just like DNA unless you do the work. So, the master slave dynamic, from the beginning, they always thought that the black man was nothing but chattel, property. I mean, you got to think they're not even human to go and get them. Again, not all. We knew that some blacks were here, okay? And we also know, because I know some of you white people want to say, well, yeah, well, some of the all the Africans weren't enslaved that were brought here. Some of them, the kings over in Africa, when they agreed to some of the white men and some of the Spaniards to come and bring the slaves to the Americas, that they agreed. And yes, some of them did. However, you have to understand that what servitude looked like in Africa was not what American chattel slavery looks like. So when those kings or whatever in those tribes may have bargained or traded, they had no clue of the mistreatment that their children, grandchildren, tribe members were going to be experiencing because the servitude looked different. You understand? Than what it looked like here in the Americas. Totally different. Totally different. All right. Secondly, the idea that black men must be controlled, surveyed, and restricted stems from the slave era fear of black rebellion. Again, the root of all of this is fear. Fear that the black man was going to be better than him. Fear that the black man was going to rebel and probably and should have. Fear that their white women would want that black man. Fear that they didn't measure up to the black man's anatomy, to the black man's strength, all rooted in fear. Third, the role of punishment and violence. The pathological need to punish black men harshly. Let's bring it to modern day, like mass incarceration and police brutality, is rooted in the historical precedent of slave punishment. And I know some of you, all you white folks, say you keep rooting it back to slavery. We have to get to the foundation of stuff. Why do you think when you go to the doctor's office and they want you answer all these questions, you're like, yo, doc, I'm just coming here because I feel a little chest pain. But they want to know everything about your history, your parents' history, your parents' parents' history. because they know the foundation, the root. It's got to be a root cause. And so when you say to us, everything's not rooted back in slavery, the majority of it is for how you white folks see blacks and how blacks have been seen by you. Next, this is also sadistic pathology, where white men gain a psychological sense of dominance and pleasure from black suffering. Now, black men, let's talk. I'm sorry, white men, let's have a serious, let's have a real conversation. Do you get pleasure when you see a black man? It's almost like, and you know you do. Some of you white police officers, you almost darn near have an orgasm. And this is the truth. Your body will react to a pleasure. If you hate that black man so much, if you're a police officer and you have chased that black man down and then you have the ability to shoot and kill and take his life, your body responds into that pleasure. With some men, and I know it happens because studies have shown, you will actually have an orgasm. That's how deep hatred will run through your body. Let's talk about the cognitive distortions that justify hatred. Okay? Cognitive distortions are irrational thought patterns that fuel racist attitudes. White male racism is sustained by false narratives and distorted reasoning. First one, confirmation bias. White men selectively see what confirms their fears and ignore evidence that contradicts their racism. Let me give you an example. A black man commits a crime. See, they're all criminals. A white man commits a crime. Oh, that's an isolated case. Uh, White child shoots up a school and killing 12 babies. Oh, he's mentally ill. A black boy shoots just one person in the hood. Oh, he is a savage. He's a thug. Second one, the second cognitive distortion, dehumanization. Black men are labeled as brutes, beasts, criminals, reducing empathy and making violence against them easier to justify. You know, it's almost as if the black male, the black man really never even had a chance here in America. I'm going to be honest. Because from the moment that they were brought here or have been mistreated, from 1619 on up, black men have had to fight to just be seen as human and treated almost equal. It's almost as if they damn near never even had a chance. So the fact that black men, you have made it to where you are today, I commend you. The fact that you have not gathered together and rebelled, I commend you. See, the real savages were the white men. When have we as black people ever rebelled against and to the mass extreme that they have done with us? Never. And we damn sure could, should have. Last one, victim blaming. White men blame black men for their oppression. If they weren't so violent, we wouldn't need the police to police them. This justifies systemic oppression by reversing the role of oppressor and victim. It's just a mind fuck. You understand? Saying they playing with your mind. And you know one thing about I hate somebody playing in my face. You're not gonna piss on me and tell me it's raining. I recognize racism when I see it. Lastly, myth of mediocrity. White men often tell themselves if black men just worked hard, they would succeed. It's hard to succeed when you've had a 450-year advantage, when you have already been able to own property and land, when we were treated as property. Come on, somebody. Y'all better hear me. Mm, mm. This ignores this way of thinking. It ignores historical oppression, systemic racism, and inherited wealth disparities. I just told you. Talking about pull yourself on your bootstraps. Hell, we didn't have no boots. We damn sure didn't have no straps. It's all right. All right, y'all. That's it because I'm keeping these videos under 10 minutes because I don't want your attention span to not pay attention. I'm going to record right after this part 3. Thank y'all so much for viewing. I love you all. White folk, don't be mad. Just get educated, okay? Black men, I commend you. We love you. We see you. Ain't nothing better than you, baby, okay? You keep your head up. And don't ever let your what has happened to you all and our ancestors turn to hate. Because when you start to hate, you become just like the white man who oppressed us. All right, be blessed. Talk to you soon. Till the next video.